In this video, we are going to deploy and set up Windows Admin Center on Windows Server 2022 and then access the Windows Admin Center web page from another machine to manage that server. So let's get to the point. The first thing we are going to cover in this video is installing and deploying Windows Admin Center on Windows 2022 operating system. It's not a built-in feature in Windows Server. You should download the file from Microsoft website, then install it on server. Windows Admin Center is an alternative way to manage your server and services completely remote. It's a service you should install on your server, and then you can access it from any computer on the network on a simple web browser. You need to download Windows Admin Center installation file from Microsoft website, and you can do it in different ways. The fastest way is to click on the link inside this notification in Server Manager. But the easier way is to Google it and then click on the main link on Microsoft website. So on this page, you should download the Windows Admin Center installation file and install that on any server you want to manage remotely. Installation process is quite simple. In first screen, click Next. You should accept license terms and then click Next. In this screen, you should decide to you want to send diagnostic data to Microsoft. The next screen, you should select Use Microsoft Update. I check for update, or I don't want to use Microsoft Update. Select one of them. Of course, using Microsoft Update is recommended. Click Next. This screen, installation process is giving you some information about benefits of installing Windows Admin Center on this server. Of course, using Windows Admin Center on this server enable access for multiple admins, different operating systems. It enables you connect from any PC supported browser. It enables you to extend management of computers on a private network. There is some scenarios, the link below. Click Next. This screen. First option, allow Windows Admin Center to modify this machine's trusted host settings. First option allows you to change settings from Windows Admin Center. You select the second one, you should access over HTTPS only. Third one is for enabling automatic update for Windows Admin Center. Click Next. This field you should provide the port number. The default is 443, which is the default port for HTTPS. You should select one of these radio buttons, create a self-signed SSL certificate, or use an SSL certificate installed on this computer. Of course, at this moment, we have not any SSL certificate installed on this computer, so I choose the first option, and we should wait for the installation process to finish. And I don't know why it has to take so long. In the screen of the installation process, you will see a link that is a combination of server name and port number. So you should use this URL address in your client web browser to access Windows Admin Center homepage. Okay, let's go to our Windows 11 browser. For accessing that URL, we should set our IP address. As this Windows 11 is new, I have installed it before this video, so it has no manual IP address. Let's go to the network and internet. We should edit IP setting on LAN card. I put the address of this client as 25 so that it can see the server, because the server is 10, the same IP address range. This is our DNS server in this network for accessing internet. Okay, we should put the address of Windows Admin Center here, the address bar, put the IP address plus HTTPS port. Instead of that, can use HTTPS before the IP address. Here we go. Here's the sign-in page to access the site. Should use the administrator credentials. And here we go. It's going to update some features. And here is the host name of our server. We're on the Windows Admin Center homepage. Here is the list of our servers. Click on server host name. Here's the setting of our server. You can see the hardware specification of our server, the overview page. You can restart it or shut down. You can edit our computer ID. You can see that it's not running any domain. And the Windows operating system is Microsoft Windows Server 2022 data center version. Installed memory is 4 GB. Disk space is about 74 GB. It has a dual core CPU E5 2620 version 2. And at the bottom of this page, we can see the CPU and RAM diagrams. Let's change some setting, for example, the computer name. because I want Active Directory service this server in the next video. I want to name this server DC1. I want to select the restart immediately option, as changing the name of the computer requires restarting the operating system. I click save. And let's go to the server to see what the consequences were. Server is going to restarting. Let's go back to our Windows 11 client. Click refresh. See what the name of this computer is now. We should wait for the server to start up completely. Now we can see that the name of the server is DC1. Let's check some other settings. These are file sharing settings on this server, environment variables, server configuration, remote desktop setting, can permit remote connection on this computer or not. This is somehow the device manager of that computer. Can update the driver of the hardware or disable it. This page is the events viewer of the server. This is the files explorer and file sharing for that server. You can see all the hard disk volume on this server. You can add sharing folder on this computer, remove some shares, and see the firewall rules, add or remove some rules. This service can see installed applications on this server. You can see local users and groups, and add new user or manage the existing users. For example, manage membership of some users. You can access PowerShell or registry. You can see the running processes on this server. You can see rules and features. And in the next video, before that, please, if this video creates value for you, subscribe and hit the like button. And thank you, and see you in the next video. Of course, in the next video, I am going to install Active Directory domain service, our server, promote the server, the first domain controller of our forest.